Okay, so before we get into the video, there's something I just have to clarify because I know it's going to be in the background and is going to undermine the tone and the message of the video, and I just want to come right out and explain what happened there. You will see this in the background of this video. This is a little light up display, whatever. You can write messages here. My girlfriend is a huge Star Trek nerd, and this used to say, before I got here, live long and prosper. So I rearranged it to this, and porra, in case you're wondering, is just a Brazilian curse word. I wanted to see how long it would take before she realized that I changed it. Unfortunately, I forgot that this was in the background of a video with a relatively serious subject matter, so I feel like I'd rather do this than my comments be bombarded with people asking why I have long penis written behind me, especially considering the subject of the video. Anyway, now you know, okay? Hey everybody, Izzy here. As you can tell, I'm not home. I'm spending the weekend at my girlfriend's, which means that I don't have access to the equipment that I usually use to make these videos, my big camera, my editing computer. So the videos I put out this weekend, if I even end up making any more videos, will be more off the cuff and crude looking. I'm sure you know what happened by now because every YouTuber has covered the story. It's been big news. So I'll try to save you time. If you're one of the few people who are, for some reason, unaware of the situation, this is it in broad strokes. A woman went to the YouTube headquarters with a gun, intending to kill as many people as she could. Thankfully, she sucked at shooting apparently because she was unable to kill anyone. She managed to injure 3 people, and thankfully they are alive and they're recuperating, and she did end her own life. So the only fatality in the situation was the shooter herself. So this situation is very unusual for 2 main reasons. One, because it's a female shooter, which is kind of rare. The majority of these situations where somebody takes a gun to a public place and tries to kill as many people as possible, historically it's a guy thing, let's say. So that made it a little unusual. When the news broke that it was a female shooter, I was a little taken aback. That's not the kind of thing that we see every day with these situations. And the other thing is that she wasn't just a random person wanting to kill a bunch of random people at a random place. She had a very specific goal. This was somebody who was a creator here on YouTube who was convinced that the platform was working against her and preventing her channel from generating income and growing in the platform. This is really unusual. This situation where somebody's just disgruntled and wants to lash out against a specific place that they feel has wronged them in some way is not usually what happens. When these people snap and kill a bunch of people in a public place, the question in everyone's mind usually is, why did they do this? He didn't know any of these people, and this place hold no significance to these people in the majority of cases. I know there are exceptions. I know I'm generalizing, but that's because I'm trying to make this video brief. So this is not the kind of thing that we usually see. First of all, a woman trying to kill a bunch of people and having a specific agenda connected to the place where she was trying to kill these people. And that made me think about this narrative that is very common here on the platform of people, creators, complaining about YouTube making changes and preventing their channel from growing. This is very much what she believed, and so much so that her family actually knew of this and had contacted authorities because she was so convinced in this narrative that she was being specifically targeted by YouTube that she was about to do something crazy. And this really got me to thinking, right? Like, as I said, it's commonplace to complain about YouTube. The platform changes things all the time. They are not super transparent with the way they conduct business sometimes, and they could, generally speaking, do better. That's something I think we can all agree on. But it is worth noting that it seems like we see a lot more negativity about YouTube than we see people being thankful about the space and the opportunity YouTube provides. I say it for myself. I can honestly say I've learned so much. I improved so much about myself because of this ability to make videos, and I've learned how to edit videos, how to make videos, how to present an idea, how to speak in front of a camera, and I have an audience because of this, and this has provided so many interesting opportunities in my life for growth, for personal growth, right? To meet people. Like I said, just yesterday I was doing a stream with Will and Bob Wolf of The Wolf Den. These guys, I love their work. I've been a big admirer of their work from the moment I first saw it, and now I get to call these guys my buddies. I get to hang out with them and do live streams and talk about stuff, and this is something that enriches my life in many different ways. That's just one example of people that I probably would never have met if it wasn't for this platform. So there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of people complaining about the platform, but I don't see a lot of people expressing gratitude for everything that YouTube has allowed them to do. And this rings especially true when I see big YouTubers, people who make six-figure incomes because of the platform, and they're constantly saying that the platform is doing this or that to screw up with their business model, let's say, with their livelihood. Sure, nobody likes having their livelihood messed around with, but when you're making millions of dollars just by turning on a camera and talking, and yes, I know I'm being dismissive, I know it's not that easy, I mean, I should know, I work in this space, but you have to realize that if you were to put that skill towards anything else, you would not be making that much money, you would not have the same opportunity. So my point here is that there's a lot of positive to be said about YouTube, and perhaps if we hadn't bought into this hysteria that YouTube is just a big boogeyman who just hates all creators and is constantly trying to ruin their own platform, perhaps this person would not have been radicalized. And this is not to say they're not responsible for what they did. The moment somebody picks up a weapon and is trying to hurt other people, they are the guilty party here. But it makes me wonder the responsibility we have collectively as opinion makers, that we contributed to a discussion that could have led somebody to become radicalized in this idea that they're being targeted by this big oppressive company who is keeping them down, to the point that they decided to take lethal action against them or the people who work there. My point is this: YouTube, like any other internet company, they screw up sometimes. They sometimes, it seems, don't know how to manage their own business, and they make a lot of decisions that seem, at least to the surface, anti-creator. I mean, again, I should know, I'm a creator, and I feel that in a lot of ways YouTube isn't helping me to the fullest extent that they could. But perhaps now more than ever, it's time to express some gratitude towards this platform, towards this company that has enriched our lives in so many different ways. Even if I weren't creating content myself, the amount of content that I watch on a daily basis that has enriched my life in so many ways, that alone should make me pause before I turn YouTube into this boogeyman. Yeah, they screw up sometimes, but there's a lot of positives too. And that's where I'm going to leave this. I realize that to some, it might seem like a stretch to say that the narrative that YouTube is doing this and that and they're screwing up creators, to say that the people who say this, who express these complaints about YouTube, who tell YouTube to do better, that what happened at the YouTube headquarters is in some way their responsibility. And I'm not trying to go as far as to say this. I just question how they could have contributed to this environment where some people just have become completely convinced that they have to take violent action against YouTube because YouTube is keeping them down. Does that make any sense? Anyway, I want to know how you guys feel about this, both from the perspective of a creator. I know there's some creators who follow my work, and as somebody who just watches YouTube videos. I, at one point, was somebody who just watched YouTube videos. So I want to know your opinion as well, whether you're a creator or you're just somebody who consumes content on the platform. And that's where I'm going to leave you. As always, if you like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I know this is not my usual content, and I can tell from looking at the analytics in my channel, it seems now that retro gaming is my space. This seems to be the kind of video that does better here on the channel. So I'm going to try to focus on that because it seems like that's what you guys like to see here. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. I'm Izzy and I'm done.